Happy to be here at Lee Snyder Field, Coach, and we're starting off with the INFC Championship Saturday here at Lee Snyder Field. We're about to have a fourth grade matchup, Coach, between Bixby Red and Edmond. You've talked with the Edmond coach a little bit over there, Coach Montgomery. Who's their player to look out for?
Well, I tell you what, Coach Manown just raved about number 23, a player there, Xavier Walker, that they have. I think you're going to see two contrasting styles today. You're going to see a big play capability out of the Edmond team, and a contrasting style on the Bixby side, which is more of a smash mouth style of football.
They like hitting you, and they have a great tailback to block for in number 34, Bowden Williams.
Yeah, no, Bowden Williams has been great all year. He's been a physical runner, physical running style. They've got Jackson Allen at quarterback, who's a great athlete, and then Gord Nolan, who's shown that he can be a great player, not only on defense, but on offense as well.
Well, Coach, as we've gone back today, we've had in first grade, we had Claremore 7, South Tulsa 21. In a second grade matchup today, we had Stillwater 12 and TY 6, and that was the first points all year that Stillwater had given up. And then, of course, we had another great performance until kind of taken away late, as you talked about before, on a late turnover. Bixby Red won the first time here with third grade. Now we're going to have Bixby Red and Edmond get ready to kick off here before you know it, Coach, and I expect a real physical game here in fourth grade.
I can't wait to see what these two teams bring to the table on Championship Saturday.
Oh, we're going down over to the mic with Chris Roberts as he's getting ready to introduce the teams that are going to come out on the field. We'll start off with Edmond first, followed by Bixby. Take it away, Chris.
All right, introducing first for Edmond, number 1, Ken Colley. A.J. Robert. Number 4, Nick Booker. Number 8, Hunter Shealy. Number 9, Jake Baker. Number 10, David Lawler. Number 12, Dawson Blue. Number 13, Kate Kurthburston. Number 15, Brogan Grigg. Number 18, Wesley Lawson. Number 19, Braden McGowan. Number 21, Braden O'Connor. Number 22, Cooper Jones. Number 23, Xavier Walker. Number 28, Aiden Polk. Number 34, Sam Keith. Number 39, John Hesler. Number 44, Drew Sanderson. Number 50, Chase Crawford. Number 62, R.L. Young. Number 87, Bo Bayou. Assistant coaches, John Maxson, Jeff Ballou, Max Sanderson, and your head coach, Kendall McGowan. And now your lineups for Bixby Spartan. Number 2, Gabe Blankenship. Number 3, Connor Martin. Number 5, Jackson Allen. Number 6, Kate Kaiser. Number 11, Spencer Wigner. Number 13, Ryan Campbell. Number 20, Dylan Yenter. Number 21, Tyler Cheatham. Check that. Number 21, Joe Peters. Number 22, Tyler Cheatham. Number 31, Asher Jock. Number 32, Noah McCurley. Number 34, Bowden Williams. Number 39, Gord Nolan. Number 15, Dane Crawford. Number 51, Braden Williams. Number 68, Logan Corp. Number 88, Seth Poston. Your assistant coaches, Sean Williams, Wendell Nolan.
Hey, don't go anywhere. Me and Coach Montgomery up in the box will be right back with you as we're getting ready to open up the fourth grade game here between Edmond Memorial and Bixby. We'll be right back.
It takes enough. Down the line.
Good morning.
We're America's #1 sporting goods store, and we're always open. Every season starts at Dix.com.
It's the sale you wait all year for. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Silverados, only $399 a month. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Traverses, Camaros, Impalas, Malibus. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Sparks, only $149 a month. 0 reasons not to get to Classic Chevrolet today. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
The Indian Nations Football Conference Championship, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts with Dick's. And by Classic Chevrolet. Save time, shop online.
Coach Montgomery up here in the box with me, Bixby High School coach. I'm Richard Stickney. Be coming through you live here for your 4th grade matchup. We have the corn toss going, Coach. Edmond Memorial, first time they've made it to the finals, 3rd year in. Can you kind of tell the difference what INFC has done for your program here at the high school and the importance of youth football?
I tell you what, it's so cool to see. You know, we've got 3 championship teams here on Championship Saturday for INFC, and it's fun to watch these kids come all the way up through our program. I know a couple years ago in 2014, the night before we played our state championship game, our group that was on that 7th grade Red championship team with all those guys, they wanted to watch their highlight video of the championship game on Championship Saturday. And so what it does, it gives our guys those experiences at an early age, and it puts them in these big game situations. There's a lot of pressure on the field out here today, Richard.
Yeah, these kids, like I said, Edmond coming down, first time they've been over here. We'd like to welcome them to our listening audience. We enjoy reaching out to the west side of Oklahoma and really growing this INFC brand that you're seeing. Once again, we're going to crown a champion. We've got 3 more games after this. We've got 2 TYA teams in the 5th grade, followed with another Bixby team. 6th grade, Coach Montgomery will be back up with us as they play TY Red at 6 o'clock, followed by Owasso Red and Union Chrome at 8 o'clock. Looks like we're going to start off with Edmond Memorial as they're going to be back to receive. Bixby will be probably deferred until the second half, and they'll be starting off kickoff. I think, Coach, you know Coach Allen pretty well with this group. What do you think is going through his mind right now?
Well, I know he's really nervous. Their last game, as you mentioned, Richard, went into overtime, and I think he kind of feels like that's a good experience for his team, though. They haven't had any close games this year, so to go ahead and get that close game under their belt, they have that going into this championship game, which you know a championship game has got to be close. And then this Edmond Memorial team is so good. I talked to Coach Meredith, the head high school coach, and he's so excited that he's got his teams in the INFC, and we're off.
Back deep, number 87, Bo Bayouth with the return up the middle, picks up a few yards, brought down about the 28-yard line, led in there, it looks like, by number 32, Noah McCurley for Bixby, was one of the recipients down there on the tackle.
Logan Korf in there as well. Great kickoff coverage, great kick. I tell you, it's amazing the difference between 3rd grade and 4th grade, the size of the athletes, the speed, and just the skill set and what these guys are able to do.
Well, looks like number 12 is going to be the quarterback, and that's going to be Dawson Ballou as he hands off to number 2 around the left side on the jet sweep. Nice blocking out there on the first one, but they didn't get to the second level, brought down after a couple yards.
Bixby lines up in a bear defense, which is a 0 and 3. So the center and guards are both covered up right there. They stem to it late. And Edmond Memorial doing just what you need to do. You need to run to the outside on that. But we continue to spill, and held them to a 2-yard gain.
Now they go a little power ISO as they put a little heavy backfield over there behind the guard and tackle. Picked up about, looks like 4 yards, bring up 3rd down and 3. Do you see anything different there on the defense for Bixby?
No, it looks like they're still basing out of either a 5-3 or squeezing it down to a bear look, and it looks like we might get quite a bit of that bear look with this inside running game, especially tempo. You'll notice the fast tempo that Edmond Memorial starting out with in this game.
Well, they picked up, it looks like enough for a first down. Good job for Edmond to jump out of there, having the drive, hour and a half, 2 hours on Turnpike, come down there, get the ball first, and they jump off with a quick first down against a Bixby team that played in the championship 2 years ago, got beat in the semis last year.
You'll notice Bixby's big middle linebacker, Gord Nolan, and he kind of anchors the whole thing. He's violent, great football player. Saw him here in this game last year.
Nice play in the backfield by number 21. I do believe that's Joe Peters. Does a great job. I've watched him a couple times during the year. A lot of athletic ability, runs really, really well. and blew it up in the backfield, then made the tackle.
Joe's a hog jousting champion in our summer camp that we do with the BYFA. Very physical football player, very good athlete.
And there's the Nolan, as you were talking about, as he fills up. Needs to wrap up a little bit, went in a little high, but once again, stuck him up right there in the hole and held the gain to just a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Nice cut back right there by Edmond Memorial, and just they're working at a frantic pace right here in their tempo offense. Coach not liking what he saw down there. He had a little personnel trouble, it looked like, getting the right people out, and I don't blame him. There's a lot of nerves going on. Go ahead and take that time out, get the right personnel out there, and don't get behind the chains. That's what we talked about in our last game. The thing that kills you in these big games is drive killers or drive extenders. So a 5-yard penalty for having the wrong personnel, a holding call, things like that are generally what sidelines these offenses at this level, because 4 times 3 is 12, and they're generally able to get 4 yards a carry.
Sure. And the one thing is, like you were talking about playing behind the chains, a lot of coaches say, if we can have no negative plays, I don't care if we can get back, I'd rather have 2nd and 10, do more with that than 2nd and 12. And believe it or not, those 2 yards, is a big difference. Games are won, lost by inches, and that was probably a pretty good timeout in this situation.
And Edmond motions a guy out. Haven't seen a pass here yet in this game. It's been inside run. And once again, that Bixby defense is tough, and that's going to bring up a critical 4th down situation.
Yeah, I noticed Edmond was in an overload. They had 4 offensive linemen and like an H-back back behind the tight end on that side, and I was expecting them to maybe run more off tackle, and they kind of ran it in on the B gap or A gap. Overload again to this side, and they like something right there, and that's what they like right there. If you don't make the tackle, he's going to be loose. A nice run and keeping his feet moving is Xavier Walker for Edmond. Bixby didn't wrap up, and he just kept his feet running and popped out of that hole.
And critical play right there by Logan Core if he makes a touchdown-saving tackle. Otherwise, Edmond's off to the races right there. Edmond loading up in this overload. I keep expecting him to go counter, but right now Bixby hasn't adjusted. They're still leaving lots of bodies over there on the weak side. And so I think Coach is going to continue to pound the ball right there on the overload side. Student body right's what we've always called it, and taking advantage of that right there. Coach Kendall McGowan right here for Edmond. He definitely knows what he's looking for.
We'll bring up 2nd down. We got to bring up 2nd down. It looks like still 10. Got a timeout, equipment problem, I'm thinking. Yep, looks like we're getting ready to start again. Well, one thing this drive's done, and you talk about Bixby's offense being explosive with Bowden Williams and Coach Allen's son and Gord Nolan and them kids, is they've already chewed up 3 minutes, gone about 20 yards, but they're controlling the clock, controlling the line of scrimmage. And as you said, if they can just get 3 yards every down, last I checked my BA education, sometimes I have to take my shoes off, but that's still a 1st down every time, and that's what they're going back to.
And Nick Booker there on that last carry made a great cutback right there. And Coach Allen and his staff elected to blitz the A-gaps right there, and Gord Nolan in on a excellent hit, tackle for a loss, TFLs as we call them, and those are game-changing plays right here, bringing down a 4th and a pretty tough situation.
Yeah, because they've been getting like 2 to 3 yards. Now all of a sudden we're extending it to 4th and 4, and we're going to see maybe that counter you were talking about, maybe this would be a good time for them to come back to the weak side with it.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Allen's staff, I'm preaching counter, cutback, reverse for all those guys, CCR. As you hear it, those guys on the outside, don't let anything get outside of you.
Slipped in the backfield, loss on the play, be a turnover on downs. That's the play Bixby was looking for. They stayed patient, kept everything in front of them, and made Edmond make the mistake. And now we're going to see this offense with an explosive tailback that I've seen for 3 years in Bowden Williams, and that great offensive line seems to be doing, led by Gord Nolan. As you were talking about, linebacker does a great job as the offensive line.
Yeah, and Coach Williams, I believe he calls the defense down there. He needs to make sure he's talking that counter right there, because they were setting it up and it was a mishandled snap. Otherwise, they have that.
There's a quarterback keeper by number 5, Allen, as he picks up about a yard. But they're called. Oh, we got a fumble, it looks like.
Oh, my gosh. That's big right there, Richard. That's a big play by that Edmond defense right there.
Huge play.
Jackson Allen, the quarterback, and I believe he was just stripped right there.
He was stripped
on
as
that quarterback keeper.
As they were taught, like you guys teach at the high school, someone had a hold of him. The other kid was going right for the football and ripped it right out as he was twisting for another yard or so. It'll bring up 1st down and 10 for Edmond Memorial at the 37-yard line. Straight handoff off to the left side on the carries. Number 4, Nick Booker, picks up a couple yards.
And right there, going with a little bit of more of an ace or traditional formation right there. Ace with a wing back right there. Edmond changes the formation, gets out of the student body look right here, and they're coming back to the same formation. So let's see what they like out of this personnel grouping.
Rule of reverse there. We talked about cut back reverse. There's the hole that you were talking about that could be there. Great job by number 2. A.J. Roberts on the reverse, and they went with the jet sweep reverse, got the counter that you were talking about. Someone wasn't at home, and they got down inside the 25 to the 21. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Edmond.
You can just kind of feel it the way Edmond's setting it up, running just the dive play, and then they come back with the reverse right there. Just a great play right there.
Well, the defense did a good job as they try to run a little ISO off the left side. Went back to, like you were talking about, a little more traditional. It was still unbalanced to the right. They run back to the weak side. The defense, I think it was led by number 31, Asher Jolly, stayed at home at that nose guard position and stopped him for no gain. Big
man in the middle, Asher Jolly getting some good penetration right here. And then Edmond coming back to the speed sweep, handing it off to number 23. Number 23, Xavier Walker, just great speed. Looks like a great athlete, trying to get him in some space out off the edge.
Looks like we got a flag on the play, and I'm going to go with face mask. Looked like the call I saw early. Personal foul, face mask. That's going to give them a turnover and then a big personal foul on this drive. We'll give them 1st and goal from about the 8 or 7 yard line. Now we'll see that Bixby defense going to have to step up because Edmonds had the ball the whole 1st quarter.
Yeah, you know, they're going to have to bow their necks right here. And when you come down to these games right here, championship games, it always comes down to turnovers, special teams. The last game we saw the last kickoff of the game, a turnover, a recovery on that. And Edmond Memorial running the dive play right here, but you know a bootleg's got to be coming up, Richard.
Yeah, they're going to set it up like you were talking about on the reverse. They ran it. It looks like they're well coached. Now, what I like is they remind me of like your high school runs. Everybody stays at the line of scrimmage, so it's hard to substitute because they're going to catch you in maybe a substitute situation and maybe call a quick snap. And there is a quarterback keeper off the right side, but the defense seems to be in the right spot led by Mr. Peters and some of those interior linemen. I think number 6, Cade Kaiser, was in there also.
Very impressed with Edmond right here. Generally, most of these teams get 3 days a week practice and just the number of reps. You start talking about August 1st all the way to November now, just the amount of reps that these guys have gotten in. We talk about the 1,000 rep rule with these guys, and it's evident right here with this Edmond team that their coaches are getting the most out of their time.
Well, here comes up a big 4th down and goal. You were talking about bowing your neck on the defense. This is a great opportunity for them to find a way to do it.
4th and goal right here. This would be huge. That's number 23, I think, Xavier Walker, that was down, that was in on that carry, and that'd be a huge hit right here if for some reason he has to miss a play or two.
Well, if they want to, they could probably use a timeout and get him back in, but for sure he's going to have to miss the 4th down play. I think, like we were talking about earlier, this might be a time to run the boot out of it because if you can get your athlete on the edge in space, I like my chances.
Absolutely. It looks like Xavier is going to be just fine right here, but he will have to come out this play on this 4th down situation. And, yeah, Richard, I love the bootleg. I love the play action on the goal line. Everybody's sucked in. You get some cover zero situations, and a lot of times you can sneak a tight end or fullback out of the formation for an easy touchdown.
Well, here we come, 4th down and goal from the 1. Bixby's defense needs a big stop here. Edmond would like to stop it right here and find a way to get on the board early. Oh, met in the backfield.
I think he's going to be short.
I think they got him short. Big hit by Gord Nolan in the backfield, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Great job as you were talking about, Coach. There's your first defensive big stop, bowing their back on the line, their back of their heels on the goal line, and they found a way to stuff the dive play.
Gord Nolan's a throwback linebacker. He's big, he's physical, and I tell you what, he didn't budge an inch right there when he met that running back in the backfield. Just a great goal line stand, but pinned deep down right here. Let's see what Coach Allen can dial up with his offense.
Well, you notice all of a sudden now Bowden Williams went back and quarterback took the direct snap. I'll bring up a name that you might remember, Coach. You talk about long and lanky. Oh, we got a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. But you were talking about long and lanky. I remember a linebacker at Jinx. Trying to think of his name. Played at OU.
Won the Butkus Award.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah, one of those cats over there. And a brother's name's Richie. Well, I think his name's Calmus. And I'm telling you, Rocky was one of the best tall, 6'3", 6'4", could run though, but had no problem filling a hole.
Yeah, no, just an excellent football player, another great football player out of the Eastern Oklahoma breed that comes out over here. And this INFC right here is a big part of that, getting these guys started and teaching them fundamentals at an early age.
Well, looks like we had a short pickup on a dive play. Looked like another quarterback, I ain't going to call it a draw play, just probably a quarterback dive as he follows a couple of his running backs out of the shotgun. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 big play here for the defense as we come down to the end. Looks like he's going to let the quarter run out. Looks like we're going to come down to the end of the first quarter of play. Kind of what we expected, little nerves on both sides, even though Edmond got a turnover, got what they were looking for, kind of drove it a little bit. Unfortunately, as you talked about, the Walker got hurt, wasn't able to go in on 4th down. It kind of limited them on what they could call.
Yeah, Walker's their go-to guy, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. And that'll take us to break.
Well, hey, we'll come back here. Stay tuned here at INFC Championship Saturday. After 1 quarter of play, it's all tied up at 0 between Edmond and Bixby.
It's the sale you wait all year for. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Silverados, only $399 a month. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Traverses, Camaros, Impalas, Malibus. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Sparks, only $149 a month. 0 reasons not to get to Classic Chevrolet today. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
Okay, hey, welcome back once again up here with Coach Montgomery, head coach here at Bixby High School. Get the fortunate to be with him on this 4th grade game. We're getting ready to start the second quarter. We just had Bixby have a big stop on defense down inside the 1 coach, and now they've got 3rd and 3 as they're trying to bring it out from the shadows of their own goalpost.
Yeah, it's absolutely critical right here. This is a big 3rd down call right here. Let's see what Justin Williams dials up.
There's a little Gabe Blankenship. Defense stayed at home, as you were talking about, cutback, reverse. Looks like they were taught that over there, and it's going to bring up a critical 4th down and 3. Now, if I'm correct, still in 4th grade, they can choose to punt the ball, and they don't have to actually kick it. They can get 20 yards, and we'll see if they decide to go for it or if they go ahead and punt the 20 yards and maybe, give it to them at the 28 and see if they can defense it up again. But I don't see them doing it. I see Williams checking in, so I expect to see 34 getting the ball and probably going to run to the right side, I'm going to guess, since Gord's over there at tackle. Now here it comes. See if he gets by the first wave. Nope. There's Walker in the backfield. Big play.
Xavier Walker is a one-man wrecking crew. He does it all on both sides of the ball. He triggered on that stretch play right there, and that play never had a chance.
Yeah, the only negative is now they're giving Edmond 1st and goal inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And guess who's back in the game for Edmond?
Xavier Walker.
Walker.
He wasn't off the field long, was he?
No. Coach, he's a player, like you said. You can see those special type of kids, and he seems to be one of them.
Yeah, when the really, really good ones always stand out, and he's got the it factor, it looks like, and they're using him at Wildcat right there. And speaking of it factor, he's taken down by, looks like, Gord Nolan on another great tackle.
If I'm correct, probably Joe Peters looked like he was in there too. Two of the same guys you talked about winning your jousting contest with the youth during the summer, just real violent with his hands, does a pretty good job.
Yeah, we love seeing those guys on our little BYFA camp. It gives us a sneak peek into the future, and gives us an idea of who are going to be our go-to guys as we get to the high school level.
Well, here we got down a 3rd and goal. Walker broke an arm tackle, at about the line of scrimmage. Strong enough. Here comes 3rd and goal, and I'm expecting 23 to get it again.
And he does, but he's short.
No, they marked him short again. It's going to be 4th down. That's going to be a 4th down. They've had, if I'm correct, that's be play number 7 that they've had inside the 3, and they have done a good job of stunning them back.
And right there, direct snap to Walker right there, and it looks like they're going to quick snap him again on the same play coming back. And I think he got in this time, Rich.
Yeah, nice job on the right side of that offensive line. Did a good job just doing your basic blocking down, and they had a running back kick out the defensive end, and he found a way to hurdle in there. He didn't have a lot of room, but he found enough room.
I don't think anyone at Lee Snyder Field thought that 23 wasn't getting the ball right there.
I think it was a complete surprise.
Yeah, great job right there by Edmond. They know who their best players are. They're going to get him the ball, and they're going to rely on that. And that gives Edmond Memorial a lead. Let's see if they can convert.
Surely not 23 again. Yep, extra point's good, and on the jet sweep with Walker, they're going to have to find an answer. If I remember right, I've heard you use the word, their cowbell. Is that correct? Something like that, where they're going to hang it on him and he's going to carry him all the way through. If they're going to win Edmond, it's going to be on the back of 23.
Yeah, 23 is definitely their bell cow, and he's their go-to guy, the guy that they're going to get the ball in any situation. That time they went to him on a speed sweep. Then they'll line him up in the Wildcat formation and direct snap to him. Then they'll put him at tailback. So we're seeing number 23 a little bit of everywhere, and Justin Allen and his staff are going to have to come up with an answer.
Well, we have 5:49, quick first half. But, of course, like we talked about, we're still at the age where we don't see a lot of passing. So you're not going to see a lot of incompletions, a lot of clock stopping.
You know, I've seen Justin working with his team out here. He works with his son Jackson at quarterback out here on the field with this group on Sundays.
Well, it looked like it about had a disaster right there. Ball hit Gord Nolan right in the shoulder pads, but he found a way to jump on it, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at the Edmond 49-yard line. Of course, after having to stop them, their best field position of the first half.
That was the exact play we saw, exact same play we saw in the 3rd grade game to end the game. They kicked the squib kick or the line drive onside, and it bounced off the shoulder pads, and the kickoff team was able to recover. So Bixby's fortunate right there to get that, but Gord Nolan making a play, which is what good players do. They make big plays in big games.
We're going to see if we're going to stay inside the tackles. And between me and you, Coach, this is where they're at their best, is when they run inside the tackles, because you take away Xavier Walker and his speed that he has, and now you get to go hit him straight on.
Yeah, that's Bowden Williams right there, number 34. Great run, great cutback. He hammered it up inside, and then the offensive line got a great wash on the zone look, and good pickup right there. Brings up 3rd down and medium right here. It is tough sledding in there. That Edmond defense doing such a good job bottling everything up inside. I know Coach Meredith would be proud. He's a defensive guy, played linebacker at Northeastern State University. Just a very good football team.
Well, hey, we're going to bring up 3rd down and 2 now. I expect, to keep using, because if you want to cut down someone's speed, I think you hammer it at them, and that takes that away. Now you just got to be more physical. And we're going to find out right here on this 3rd and 2 just how physical they are. Nice block. Bowden Williams around the right side, down inside the 30, the 26, as they did a great job on the edge. And you look who they pulled out there from tight end position on the lead block out there is number 39, Gord Nolan.
Yeah, just excellent football right there inside. You got some great blocking from the big guys inside. I noticed Cade Kaiser up inside getting a great block right there, great reach block. You see these guys even at a young age able to get good reach blocks, able to control the line of scrimmage, and good physical block.
Well, we got a 1st and 10 now down at 26-yard line, and now we got little Blankenship, who has tremendous balance, wrestler, I got the fortune of coaching his older brother, Zach, does the same thing, just low center of gravity, uses his hands well, stays low, below everything, is able to turn a nothing into a couple-yard gain.
Yeah, and we called his name on defense, Asher Jolly, but right there up front on the offensive line, he's just physical, had a down block right there, using his hands, continue to run his feet. I love to see these good offensive linemen getting it on, and Asher's another kid that we've had at our BYFA summer camp and has been down to the wire on the hog jousting and camp MVP, things of that nature right there. So we notice these guys.
Let's bring up 2nd down and 8. We have twins to the left, single back, tight end in. Oh, now we're going to see our first pass, but then he pulls it down because Edmond had it covered pretty good, and we're going to have a small loss on the play, bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, right there, Bixby lined up in what I refer to as God's formation. It's a slot, so not only do you have 2 tight ends, but you got trips to the side, and thought they had a look for the double slant pass right there, but Jackson Allen makes a smart decision and goes ahead and pulls it down instead of making a bad decision.
Well, you know how important quarterback play is. Don't turnovers. Find a way to let good defenses, let the defense work. You just keep us in good situations, good down and distance. And then here goes the halfback pass wide open. And all the way down. Nice play. And I think it was caught by number 68, Logan Korf, down inside the 10-yard line when Bixby be 1st and goal from the 8.
Logan Korf, excellent player. We've noticed him on the defensive side of the ball. And then right there, Justin Allen goes to his bag of tricks and runs the halfback pass, and it was wide open. Excellent throw, excellent catch. Love the trickeration, love the creativity by the play caller right
Well,
there.
you got to pull it out in games like this because there's no more tomorrow. I mean, what's it going to hurt? You've seen a heavy dose of Bowden all day, and then all of a sudden he sucks everybody up, and there wasn't nobody within camera view.
Yeah, and I see Coach's playlist right there, and he's got a list of bullets. You know he does. Jackson Allen right there on the carry, and just violent runner. Wow, what a tough run.
Dude, he run like he was mad at the ground right there. Those feet were just chopping, and he found a way to get down inside the 5. What'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4.
Notice number 9, Jake Baker, in from his secondary position for the Bulldogs. Actually, it looks like they've got him lined up there at outside linebacker. Just great player right there. Great job, doing a good job containing the end.
Nice job, as you've talked about earlier, as they're blocking in the middle. Center and guard did a great job going forward, and we've got a touchdown by number 5, Jackson Allen, for the Spartans, as there was a hole that, well, I would say I would run through it, but we know that's a mistake. It was wide open, though, by that offensive line up front.
Yeah, just a wedge block right there, and the quarterback kept it. Jackson Allen, who's actually just a 2nd grader. He's playing up on, just a 3rd grader. He's playing up on this 4th grade team, and a great player. He's a SPAL athlete a week in the summer, and the 2-point play, running his feet, tough, and it looks like he's going to be just short of the extra point right there.
Yeah, looks like he turned his back at the goal line and wasn't able to get the ball across. But, hey, we've got 1:32 remaining until halftime. Bixby just scored to get 6 on the board. We've got a 7-6 ball game. Bixby need to answer after getting stuffed and giving up a 4th down and 1 down there, and they found a way to drive down and get the touchdown. But Edmond made it tough on them.
Yeah, absolutely. That Edmond defense is tough, and I think Justin's attacking it the way he needs to attack it, up inside, because if you try to get the edge, you got to deal with big number 23, Xavier Walker, running the highway.
Well, Coach, you were talking about all the terminology with offensive linemen. Don't you like the idea that you're around them during the summertime? Some of those kids during SPAL, they get to come up to the high school and they get to learn the verbiage. And so when these coaches start establishing it, when you get them in 8th grade, they learn the basic verbiage of what you're talking, offensive linemen, like washing, like jab step, like, bucket steps to get to the ends, stuff like that. Does that help quite a bit for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's imperative that we get these guys up here in the summer. As I mentioned, Jackson Allen and Blankenship and a lot of these guys are SPAL athletes in the summer, and several of them I know have gotten up on Twitter, on the high school Twitter, for SPAL Athletes of the Week. And the foundation that they're building a relationship with the high school coaches, understanding our terminology is absolutely critical. And a lot of these youth coaches are running the same offense that we're running at the high school level and using the same terminology. And it's just a common language is imperative to running a successful program.
Well, we just ran the jet sweep with Walker's. He got picked up a couple, but we have a timeout in Bixby. Minute 16 remaining until halftime. I'm guessing we're going to have, looks like we have, 910 cheerleaders going to perform for Bixby at half as they take up all the way from the 10 to the 40. But those girls work just as hard, and, it's great to see them all out here supporting Bixby and athletics and having their parents here. But they'll be with us at halftime. 1:16 remaining, 7-6 Edmond. They don't want any turnovers here, right, Coach? So if you're in the offensive side of Edmond right now and you're play calling, I think you've done that a little bit in your time. What are you thinking right here with a 7-6 ball game, the way the game's been going on so far?
Well, Nick Saban always talks about when you're in big games and critical situations, get the ball in your playmakers' hands. So if it's me right now, I'm trying to get the ball to number 23, but I'm probably doing it with a speed sweep or jet sweep or the wildcat formation that they've been running. It looks like they're going to run a jet sweep to him right here. Something that's low risk, but you got the ball in the hands of a playmaker.
Well, Bixby did a real good job defending it right there because that could have been a big gain, and they held him to just a 7-yard gain. That brings up 3rd down and 2, and the clock is going to be under 1 minute remaining. Now, Coach, you think sooner or later they fake it to the sweep, or do you think they fake the sweep and he runs out for a pass?
Well, I always think it's a good idea because you see everybody keying on him, and a big play in the 3rd grade game that we had earlier was fake the reverse and just run the sweep out of the edge.
That was a great call.
Yeah, and they ran it 2 or 3 times, and what it did, it removed that cloud corner out of the way that's up there playing run support and got a soft edge for him just to run regular sweep. So it was a good call.
Well, now here comes the double reverse, but Jackson misses the tackle, but slowed him down as number 39, Nolan, brings him down for a loss on the play.
And A.J. Roberts right there from his wideout position on the reverse play, doing an excellent job, and he just showing that he's another playmaker that the Spartans are going to have to contend with.
Well, we have 35 seconds remaining until halftime. As I said before, this is Championship Saturday. This is the Super Bowl of INFC youth football here in Northeast Oklahoma. We're very fortunate that Bixby lets us host it here because it gives it such a big game performance, because it's not just a huge stadium like a Chapman Stadium where you can hardly tell, but yet you come out here, beautiful facility. Coach, we got just new turf here this year put down, and it looks incredible. The new home of the Spartans, of course, is 3 or 4, maybe 6 years old now, but having all this right here really makes it feel like Championship Saturday here with us at Bixby at Lee Snyder Field.
Well, it's a beautiful day, and it's a great venue to have this championship game. Like you mentioned, we got brand new turf down here, state of the art, the best stuff they have, cool play, although that doesn't really come into factor today because it is a cool day. But in the summer heat, when these guys are out here on it, it makes a big difference. And then home of the Spartans, we got new kicking nets. Just everything down here is state of the art, first class, and we love hosting it. I know from my perspective, I've gotten to do this now for 7 years, call some of the games up here or be on site, and it gives me a glimpse into the future for all these teams.
Well, it looks like they tried to run a little trickery as the kid was knocked down behind the guard, almost where his knees were touching.
It looked like a Gus Malzahn play that everybody's so familiar with, called Hide the Little Man, where you hide the little man that squatted down over there where nobody can see him, and then you try to hand him the sweep coming out the back door.
Speaking of sweep, looks like we're going to have Mr. Walker again, and they're having a real tough time blocking Mr. Williams over there at corner. He's done a great job, and it looks like that's going to bring us to the end of the first half of play here. That'll bring us to the end of the first half. As we talked about, Coach, 7-6 ball game. Each possession started by a turnover on downs. We had a big turnover down there on downs. Edmond stuck it in. They took the kickoff, though. Give Bixby credit. They drove down the field after the kickoff on the onside kick and punched it in. Anything you see that might be a little different out of this that you would look to change up going into the second half?
Well, it's going to be a defensive ball game, and yards are tough going up inside, and I think Justin Allen may be on to something now that they've had their second possession of the game with a halfback pass with the inside run, and I think Edmonds just got to continue to do more of what they're doing, handing the ball off to number 23, finding a way to get him in space because he's a special athlete. But I definitely like the idea of the double reverse and the fake reverse and some things like that to him. So it's definitely a low-scoring affair, and, it may end up being a one-point ball game. That extra point may prove to be critical.
Well, Edmond called timeout so they could have the last play. I'm looking to have something here for a pass, but nope, still just a jet sweep. And Bixby's done a good job balling it up, and that'll bring us to halftime. We'll have the cheerleaders performing. Before that, we'll probably have Charity Barton with one of the coaches. Looks like she'll be with the Edmond coach first as we go into halftime here at Bixby. At halftime, we've got a Edmond 7, Bixby 6. We're gonna go down to Charity as she'll have the Edmond coach and interview him at halftime. It's down to you now, Charity.
You guys had, in the first quarter, you had a team member that actually was hurt and got put out of the game, and another member came in. How does that affect the dynamic of your team, since it is quite small?
Yeah, so anytime you have a kid go down, you got to make sure that you're prepared, number one, but number two, the safety of the child is the number one thing for us. And so obviously morale for the kids and trying to get them excited about getting back in there, maybe have to learn a new position and that kind of thing, but we're prepared for that. We've got kids that back other kids up, so it shouldn't affect us. We want to make sure it's safety's first. So
perfect. That's all good to hear. So you are leading now after the half. So how are you going to keep up the momentum going into third quarter?
Bixby's a great team. It's a long game ahead of us for sure. A very physical game, just like we thought it was, and we'll make some adjustments. I'm sure they will too, and we'll see what happens second half.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, when we come back at halftime here, stay tuned. We'll have the Bixby cheerleaders as they're getting ready to perform. So you need to stay tuned, and then we'll have third quarter action, second half action here at Lee Snyder Field in fourth grade game between Bixby and Edmond. Stay tuned.
It's the sale you wait all year for. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Silverados, only $399 a month. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Traverses, Camaros, Impalas, Malibus. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Sparks, only $149 a month. 0 reasons not to get to Classic Chevrolet today. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. So we're stocking new gear at lower prices and introducing the best price guarantee. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
There are a bunch of spread offenses in the SEC now. I know everybody visualizes old school LSU ball and
So going into the third quarter, what are you going to do defensively and offensively that'll be different from the first half?
Defensively, I don't think we're going to do a whole lot different. We seem to be doing pretty well. Our offense is actually kind of what put us in a hole that half. So we've got to really, we're kind of beating ourselves. Penalties, we had a turnover down deep in our own side. So we've just got to clean it up a little bit, and I think we'll be okay.
Right. Well, championships are not made at halftime. They're made at the end of the game. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charity, for all that down there as she did the sideline for us. Charity, we appreciate it. As we come back, We're getting ready to start third quarter action between Edmond and Bixby. Stick around as we're here at Championship Saturday at Lee Snyder Field.
It takes enough. Down the line.
Good morning.
We're America's #1 sporting goods store, and we're always open. Every season starts at Dix.com.
It's the sale you wait all year for. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Silverados, only $399 a month. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Traverses, Camaros, Impalas, Malibus. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Sparks, only $149 a month. 0 reasons not to get to Classic Chevrolet today. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
The Indian Nations Football Conference Championship, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts with Dick's. And by Classic Chevrolet. Save time, shop online.
Welcome back to Lee Snyder Fields. We're getting ready to start the third quarter of play, Coach. Coach Montgomery, Lauren Montgomery up here, Bixby High School coaches up here, join me in the box. Coach, great first half. Here we go for the second half. Do you expect to see about the same?
I am pumped for the second half. I tell you what, we got a 1-point ball game, and I know it's going to come down to the wire right here. We're going to see what adjustments these coaches have made. I can tell that both coaching staffs know what they're doing. They know their personnel and the things that they're going to have to do. So we're going to see how the course of this game changes here in the second half and how the play calling and different things that the coaches are talking to their kids about comes into action here. So big second half coming your way.
Well, here we go. Bixby back to receive. They'll take the opening of the third quarter, and we'll see if they can put some offense together as Edmond tees the ball up at the 40-yard line. Referees in position.
I tell you what, those frontline guys got to be ready because we cut a line drive on the last kickoff, and you got to be ready right from the get-go, your frontline guys for that line drive onside.
Whistle blown, getting ready for play. Here goes the kick. There's what you were talking about, and it went right out of bounds, which is a good thing. They'll probably get the ball right there at the 49-yard line in great field position for Bixby as they come out 1st and 10.
Yeah, and I see old Colton Jolly down there ready to rock and roll, Asher Jolly down there ready to rock and roll. He's getting his big lineman buddies ready and fired up, and let's see what Coach Justin Allen has dialed up for the second half.
Yeah, big number 50, Thane Crawford, also one of those linemen that's done a great job in the first half as they started running inside the tackles. We talked about they popped one on the outside, set it up perfect, but now heavy dose of it coming on the inside. Inside the tackles as they went down and scored before the first half was over. Be 1st and 10. Direct snap to Bowden Williams. Met at the line of scrimmage. Can't get a number, but it looked like number 15, Coach, was in there on the hit.
Yeah, and number 15, Morgan Griggs, brought it, but he paid the price. Big 34, Bowden Williams, just a violent runner, violent football player. Brought a shot to him as well. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Like you said, no gain, but not a negative play. And so as far as we're concerned, it's still manageable down, probably 4-down territory for Justin Allen.
Well, if he went forward at his own 5-yard line, I'm pretty sure he's going to go for it at midfield. Now we have a little zone read, handoff, and there's the, as you talked about, you got back to the line of scrimmage, and now he picks up enough for a 1st down on the next play.
Tell you what, Bowden Williams reminds me a lot of the running style of Nick Roller, an excellent tailback, all-state tailback we had here at Bixby a few years ago. Very, very patient, and then when he hits a hole, he's just so explosive and hard to bring down, a big back.
Well, we got 1st and 10 at the 40. Jackson Allen back at quarterback. Another handoff inside, and they are doing great play by that guy, number 23. Your man there, Xavier Walker, as he saved, and I'm telling you, probably saved a touchdown or a big run if it wasn't going to the house.
Yeah, I tell you what, Williams hit the cutback lane. I thought it was an excellent cut, and I thought he was off to the races. But once again, number 23, Xavier Walker, right there to save the day.
Well, we got 2nd and 5. Same play again. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And picks up about 3 and going to bring up, like we talked about, 3 yards at a time. And it'll bring up, it looks like a 3rd down and 2.
And offensive coordinators, a lot of them aren't patient enough to continue to go back to the same play or take those 3- and 5-yard plays right there. But the inside zone is working to the big dog, Bowden Williams.
Well, great job up front. Great job up front by that offensive line running the zone read. And now we went trickery the other way, and they did a great job blowing it up in the backfield by number 62, R.L. Young. Penetration always kills the zone read, and it looks like that's what happened.
Exactly. You know, anytime you're running zone play and those big defensive linemen get penetration, it just wreaks havoc on it because you're forced only to go one direction. You don't have a two-way go with a bang or the bend, and that's exactly what happened right there, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Back to Williams as he needs to pick up, and it looks like they stuffed him down.
Good run right there, but it's just a little bit short. They needed that probably on 3rd down, needed to pick up like that. You know, one of the things Coach Schneider, the offensive coordinator here at Bixby, always talks about is he wants to pick up 4 yards on 1st down, and then on 2nd down he wants to get half the distance. And so generally if you stick to that thought, it'll put you in pretty good position and keep you ahead of the chains.
Yeah, and you talked about head of the chains, and they lost a play on that other counter when they went to Gabe, and we had a mix-up in the backfield, and they lost on the yards, so therefore tough. But now, speaking of mix-up in the backfield, looks like we had a fumble on the exchange back there. Xavier Walker falls on it, but as we talked about, now they're falling behind the chains, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12.
And we talked a little while ago about these games always coming down to turnovers and mistakes, and that was close to a turnover there on that last snap, and Bixby bottles him up right here. This is going to bring up a big 3rd down.
Well, they went back to the counter because Xavier came this way and they ran counter or misdirection, we should say, back to the weak side, but Bixby did a great job staying at home. Now bring up 3rd down and 12 as Xavier's back here at quarterback in the gun with one back behind him. Direct snap, and looks like he's running a sweep out here and did a great job doing his job. And everybody did a great job flowing down, picked up some yardage, but stayed away from the big play.
I tell you what, number 12, Dawson Baylor, excellent crack block from his wide receiver position, helped set the edge. And I know they didn't pick up as many yards as they wanted to, but if he keeps blocking from his wide out position like that, Edmond's going to have some more good runs out off the edge.
Here's a 4th down and 5. They're going to try to draw him off sides. Their running back goes out in motion again, and they did draw him off. And that'll pick up, looks like it'll be enough for a 1st down, Coach, on 4th down.
Yeah, that's tough right there. You know, the hard count, and I like the way that Edmond have practiced it. You know, they put in a little work on that because they didn't get him the first time, and then they put the running back out in motion and got the defense talking just a little bit about adjusting and covering that guy and lost concentration.
Well, here we go, 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Xavier Walker takes the carry, picks up a couple yards, filled in nicely by number 6. That would be Cade Kaiser. And also, I think in their coach was number 51, Braden Williams.
Yeah, I noticed Braden Williams doing a good job jutting in from his outside linebacker position. Good job gang tackling right there. And anytime you have the talent on the field like this Edmond team has, you've got to gang tackle.
Now we got a new guy running the ball. Nice tough run by the number 4 of the quarterback who's been taking most of it, Nick Booker, as he gets down close to the 50-yard line to the 49. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for Edmond. But once again, as you talked about, Coach, manageable 3rd and 4, because all they got to do here on 4th down is at least get 2 yards.
Yeah, no, just hammer it away. Do what you're doing. They ran the power play on that last snap, a very good play, and we're able to pick up 4 or 5 yards.
Nice run by number 87 there. That would be Bo Bayouth. And a tough run on the little reverse, and he goes down to the 42, but he picks up enough for an Edmond 1st down.
Great second effort right there. And I tell you, the Edmond team's fired up, putting together a drive, and Bixby has to find a way to answer right here.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Edmond at the Spartan 42-yard line. Same formation we've seen most of the day, heavy. Straight direct snap back to number 4 again, Booker. This time defense did a great job stepping up and fighting through the block. Led in there by number 34 Williams and number 39 Nolan.
I can tell Nick Booker's a smart football player. Immediately, as soon as he received that snap, he had both hands on it, was protecting the football. His coaches have done a good job talking to him about ball security.
Tripped up in the hole by number 34, Bowden Williams, from his corner position. Bring up 3rd down and 6. Nice run in there, keeping it nice and steady. But once again, as we've said, staying ahead of the chains. Got a 3rd down and 6. And very manageable. All they got to do, like we've talked about, is try to pick up half of it here and bring up 4th down and short for them.
Yeah, Gord Nolan, let's see if he has something to say about that. I tell you, the old school middle linebacker from the middle of the defensive formation has been all over the field. So let's see if he can make a play right here. I know when they blitz Gord, it's just devastating, but they've been running so much block down power scheme. I don't know if coach will elect to do that.
All fumbling in the backfield. We talked about before. Now it's 4th. They didn't get the half or some positive yards. So now this brings up a very long 4th and 7. So even if they do draw them off sides, it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. That helped them out on the last 4 downs. 4th down and 7. Direct snap back to Walker. Blown up in the backfield by Kaiser and that group on that side. Blew it up back here. I think number 32, Noah McCurley, was also in there, and Walker had nowhere to run, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, that's a big stop right there by the Bixby defense. Edmond was rolling, and then a couple little mistakes, like a mishandled snap, put them behind the chains. And in these critical games, it always comes down to the wire, and it always comes down to fundamentals. Even in the NFL, you see it coming down to fundamentals, drop passes, mishandled snaps, things like that. And so let's see who can execute the best in this game. And we're down to about 1:22 left in this 3rd period.
Well, looks like we have an injury, and there's number 87, Bo Bayouth, over there down at about the 46-yard line, hoping he can come back, as he's been instrumental in what they've done offensively and defensively for Edmond. We got a 7-6 ball game, 1:22 left in the 3rd quarter. No reason to panic yet, Coach, and start maybe spreading it out. Just keep staying and doing what you've been doing, right?
Yeah, and on the last drive, they were just hammering away on the inside zone. What got them into trouble was the one time they tried to run a little jet sweep and had a negative play. And you mentioned it earlier, Stick, those negative plays are really what get you. You call these youth football games week in and week out here on Saturdays at Lee Snyder Field, and I know you see it from teams. Sometimes teams try to outcoach themselves or get a little bit too cute and make those mistakes.
Well, here we come back, 1st down and 10. He got helped off the field. I hope he'll be okay. Defensive front for Edmond, led in there, I think, by number 34, Sam Keith, stuffed it, along with linebacker number 19, Coach. That'd be Braden McCowan, the head coach's son. We figured he'd be in a lot of plays. Always seems to be in the right position from that linebacker spot.
Yeah, number 34, Sam Keith, did an excellent job right there of fighting off a block and stepping into B gap and making a violent hit on the ball carrier to keep him to about a 1-yard gain.
Motion by Blankenship. Back to negative plays. Looks like they tried to set up a pass play there, and something happened, and
yeah, it looks like they were trying to maybe sprint out or run a quarterback keeper out over the right side, and just maybe something that they haven't practiced a ton right there. And the Edmond defense got quite a bit of penetration and bottled them up, and it looks like we ended up taking a 5 or a 6-yard loss, and that's going to bring up a tough 3rd down situation.
Well, that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter of play here. As the score hadn't changed since halftime, everybody's stalemate, and it's Edmond 7, Bixby 6 as we come back in the 4th quarter. I expect to see the same hitting as we've been seeing in the same type game. We'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please stay tuned as we'll come back for the 4th quarter action here at Lee Snyder Field and INFC Championship Saturday.
It's the sale you wait all year for. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Silverados, only $399 a month. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Traverses, Camaros, Impalas, Malibus. 0 down, 0 first month's payment on Chevy Sparks, only $149 a month. 0 reasons not to get to Classic Chevrolet today. The 0-0 event going on now at Classic Chevrolet. Online at classicchevrolet.net.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. So we're stocking new gear at lower prices and introducing the best price guarantee. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
Here we go.
Hey, welcome back to Lee Snyder Field as we get ready up here with Coach Montgomery, getting ready to start an exciting fourth quarter. Now we're back in the gun. Run a toss sweep to number 34, Bowden Williams, looking for his hole. Great job by the Edmond defense as they string it out, and it'll bring up a fourth down and long for Bixby.
Yeah, and Justin Allen right here going to make a decision. Is he going to go for it on fourth down, or are we going to go ahead and punt? And it looks like he's going to go for it. He ran the toss sweep right there, and I wonder if he's setting up that halfback pass again. That's a good look on the toss sweep. Haven't seen a ton of that yet today.
Here we go, fourth down and 9 at the 40-yard line. Bixby comes to the line of scrimmage. Same backs, Blankenship and Williams. Looks like they're going to try to draw them off. Nope, we ran the straight zone, and they just unfortunately didn't hold the block, and they jumped the gap there by number.
Looked like number 19, Braden McGowan, the head coach's son, just, shoots through there, reads the play perfectly on the sweep play and makes the tackle for a loss. Just a great play right there, and it turns the ball over on downs.
Well, now it's first down and 10 from the Bixby 40-yard line. I expect number 23 and number 4, that's been the main ball carriers, sometimes a little bit with a reverse with number 2, who's not in there right now, but here comes a heavy dose of number 23, Mr. Walker.
We know it's early in the fourth quarter right here, but the way some of these drives have gone, chewing up time, Justin Allen's going to have to think about how he's going to manage the clock with this being a one-point ball game, because he's going to have to get the ball back and put together a drive himself.
Bring up second down and 7. Nice job by the Bixby defense on that said line in by Williams, Kaiser, and Peters as they stuff them.
Well, there's some straight throwback players. Cade Kaiser right there from his defensive line position, just a violent shot. He's built compact, just a good-looking defensive lineman.
Both Williams boys seem to be on the tackle on that one as Xavier Walker runs around the right side, as it's going to bring up a very critical right here, as you talked about, with time eaten up and of importance. Brings up fourth down, and we'll call it 3, but it's about 2.5 yards, but very important for them to get 3 yards right here, keep the drive alive. We have a lot of people showing up. Look like Edmond came really well, Coach, as they seem to have brought a lot of people over. Big play in the backfield. Fight. Looks like he's going to be pretty close to a first down, but I'm going to go ahead and call this one up here. I think he's going to be a little short, but we'll wait and see if they measure.
Yeah, at first glance, it looked like he was going to be a little bit short, and then second effort may have picked up the first down. And once again, number 23, Xavier Walker's down on the field. If I'm the coach, I'm going to ask him to measure this thing out right now. They just go ahead and pick him up and help him out.
Looks like they turned it over on downs. They didn't even measure, Coach.
Didn't even measure.
Don't you have the right to probably ask for that, maybe? Or I guess maybe they don't have to grant it, but I thought that was close enough to do it, but they didn't. And for Bixby's sake, it's going to be a turnover, because if they got that first down, you're talking about another 1.5 to 2 minutes of clock chewing, and maybe down inside their 20 and taking over. And they haven't had the big play offense, big 70-yard run, 60-yard run, or anything like that. It's just been methodical, a little bit here, a little bit here. Now with 5.5 minutes, plenty of time to put that same game plan together and keep what you've been working on.
Yeah, I'm going to say right here that if Bixby can go ahead and put together a drive and win this game, that that defense.
Pass ball's incomplete for Mr. Blankenship, as we talked about trying to get that big hitter right up, but didn't get behind the chains. Now it's 2nd and 10, still manageable. I like the idea that they tried to go hit, because I think that's what they were trying to run in the end of the third quarter, when the quarterback, we looked to boot out and got behind and got sacked for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, and what I was talking about there is if Bixby can find a way to pull this game out, they're going to have to give the game ball to that entire defense, because that stop right there was absolutely enormous.
Well, here we go. Bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Mr. Jax Allen in the backfield. Looks like we're going to run the pass again. And a big hit and a loss in the backfield.
Yeah,
might have held on to it too long, Coach. I don't know.
Yeah, they lined up in an A slot, like I talked about earlier, with two receivers out to the right and went to sprint out. And it looked like there was pretty good coverage out there on the edge, and so Jackson Allen elected to keep it, and it ended up being about a 3-yard loss right there. So this is going to be 3rd in a real long situation. Let's see what they're going to do in a critical moment like this.
3rd down and 13. Straight back to the zone read ahead here. Nice block. Get another block, and he's down the right side. Is he going to go? He broke through, Coach. And I don't think, is there a flag down? It don't look like one. Touchdown.
Oh, my goodness, right there.
You were talking about big players making big plays. There's a big player by 2 of them, and number 39, Gord Nolan, with the lead block as he knocked down 3 guys, it looked like, Coach.
Not only did he get one key block, he made a knockdown, then went and found another one, and as you mentioned, Stick went and found another one. Oh, my goodness, what a big play.
4:23 remaining. The Spartans go up 12-7.
Wow. When you had to have it right there, 3rd and forever. Toss sweep, lead blocker, your 2 best players on the team, getting it done.
12-7 here, Coach. They didn't get the 1-point conversion the last time. They're opting to kick it. Do you think maybe you go ahead and try to get the 1 point if you're not real sure how your kicking game is? Now, I've seen them make them during the year. I've had them all year long. I've seen them make 2 or 3, maybe more than that, of course. But do you try to go ahead and get the 1 point and make the other team score and get their one? Because if you don't get it, then a touchdown puts you behind again.
Excellent point, Stick. I think you have to go with whatever you're best at right here. You know, because it's kind of a toss-up situation. Because the way the defense is playing right now in the second half, if you go ahead and take your 1 point, if they happen to score, then you got to put it on your defense's shoulders, and that's turned out pretty well so far in this second half. I don't know what kind of place kicker they have or how proficient they are at kicking the extra point, but that's kind of what I would be thinking.
Well, we're going to see if he changed his mind. I don't see a kicking tee in anybody's hand out there. No, don't look like it. Looks like we're going to go straight back. I'm not saying they're going to make it, but I like the call and not take a chance because, like you said, I think they can get 3 yards, even though they lost it on the last time. Extra point's good there. Now a touchdown only ties it, and they have to make the extra point. But, Coach, now you talked about giving the game ball to the defense as they've had 2 big stops in this game. Now it's on the shoulders that you wanted on, as you've been talking about. See if the defense can find a way to put an end to this.
Without a doubt, and right there on the conversion, number 34, Bowden Williams, put it in the hands of your playmaker. And, you know, this is classic smash mouth football right here, and you start to see that running game wearing on Edmond just a little bit. And Bowden Williams carrying the ball behind Gord Nolan, just really throwback, tough guy football. It's fun to see those guys doing that. And I'll tell you, Richard, those are guys that we see in our summer program. Those are guys that are up here that already are lifting weights, are running sprints all summer long. You know, and it's paying off right here in the 4th quarter. Let's see if they can hold.
Short kickoff to number 87, Bo Bayouth. Gets down the sideline, steps out of bounds. You talked about the biggest thing that I noticed, and this is, my son was fortunate enough to play for you, and being an offensive lineman, they love run blocking. And I think that offensive line on 2 of the 3 drives has really, as you talked about defense getting tired, when you have those hogs up front leaning on you, and then sooner or later the dam's going to break, and as he busted that 64-yard touchdown run.
I think it's just fun to see a big back and an offensive line take over a game in the 4th quarter, and you got to be a little bit patient, as you mentioned earlier, with some of those inside runs. You may have a no gain, but you continue to plug, and that's when you see, you know, big backs like Nick Roller, Tucker Pauley, Bowden Williams take over and have big, you know, 7,500-yard 4th quarter performances.
Well, you've seen what the defense has done to them. It's pushed them out where they're now starting to throw the football more, And it might not be something that Edmond's real good at because they've been, slow 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. And now all of a sudden, number 23 hasn't touched the ball in two times now, hasn't put the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I take that back to Oklahoma State's tailback, Justice Hill. A few years ago when he played for Booker T, Justice only touched the ball a few times in their semifinal loss to Sand Springs. So right there, Coach pretty smart right there, going back to Xavier Walker on the stretch play, and that's going to bring up a big 4th down right here. And, in a situation like this, I think number 23 has to touch the ball.
Well, we got a 4th down and 9. Edmond's in the same position, but now I'm telling you, I think I can see him coming back this direction. Yeah, inside quick handoff, quick hitter, but it's going to be dependent on the mark. Coach, I don't think he got enough for the 1st down.
Let's see what kind of spot. It looked initially like it was going to be about 6 inches short.
But the way they gave it to him, it looks awful close to it. Yep. And they've already moved the chains, so now he's too late for him to ask for a 1st down or for a measurement. It'll be 1st and 10. Nice job on the carry on the little inside handoff.
Was that number 4, Nick Booker?
That was number 2. Same play again. This time, though, Cord said, no. Fool me once, my fault. Fool me twice, I don't think so. And he stayed at home perfectly on the little inside handoff to the H-back.
Yeah, no, that was an excellent pickup right there on the 4th down. Love the call by Coach. Moved the chains, and then this fast tempo offense that Edmond's running is just really impressive to watch.
Well, they're going to have to, start using their timeouts because by the time if they get this next 1st down, we're going to be under 2 minutes. But we got a flag on the play. I'm going to say offsides might be the call. I'm not quite sure. Nope, false start. Looks like against Edmond.
And that's a tough one right there for the Edmond offense. Coach goes ahead and accepts the penalty. Could have made it 3rd down right there, but I think I go ahead and back them up and make it a 2nd down and 10 as well.
Yeah, they've just, like we talked about, Coach, they've stayed away from the big play. That I haven't, Bixby's kept the guys in front of them, as you would say, and not giving up anything big. So we'll see if this pays off as we go 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, and that defense better keep an eye on number 23. That's all I got to say because he's the guy. Number 2, A.J. Roberts, has shown that he has a little bit of wiggle and can make a big play too.
Well, Coach, I think they're talking about, I don't think they took the 5 yards from the right spot because I think they gave it, I don't think it was 2nd down and 5. I thought it was like 2nd down and 8.
Nope, you're exactly.
And it looks like they're changing it because I was wondering what the discussion was because I was like, man, I didn't think it'd be 2nd and 10. I thought they'd be behind the chains.
Yep.
Lucky guess. Now we bring up 2nd down and 14, and we're going to see what they go to. Back to the passing game. And picked off. Nice play by number 34, Bowden Williams, still on his feet, but he goes down. Big play, as you talked about, Coach, giving the game ball if this continues to stay same to that defense as they rolled out with him in perfect coverage as Bowden was underneath and Blankenship was over top.
Unbelievable right there by Bowden Williams. Just a phenomenal play. So proud of that young man and what he's doing right there.
Well, here we go. This is what an offensive lineman just dreams about. Besides girls, this is the 2nd best thing they would dream about right here is 3 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left. We're going to run the football. You put 9 guys in a box. We don't care. We're coming downhill, and we're going to see how this offensive line handles this situation with them putting 8 in the box.
Yeah, no, you talked about dreaming of girls. Offensive linemen dream of pizza. You know that. You
yes,
live
sir.
with an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
But, yeah, absolutely. Grind the clock, hand the ball off to the big dog. 4-minute offense, call another run play, Coach, is what those guys are saying.
Exactly. If they're calling the plays, it's anything that has to do with the running game. We got a timeout. That's what we thought that would happen. The good thing is, though, 2nd down and 6. If Bixby wants to put an ending to this, stamp a championship for them, they'll have to pick up a 1st down. If you're Edmond now, Coach, let's go to the other side of the ball. You're Edmond at 2nd and 6. What are you telling your defense right now in the huddle?
Well, I tell you, I'm dialing up all-out blitz right here because it's desperation time. Everything's on the line. Back when I used to work with Coach Tennyson over at Jinx, he called it Little Bighorn when he brought everybody under the sun. Corners, everybody on an all-out blitz. See if you can shake a ball loose, see if you can get a negative play. It's high risk, but it's kind of a high-risk situation right here with the championship game on the line.
Yeah, hopefully you get back here and get a hit in the backfield on the handoff, on the exchange. sometimes hit that gap quick enough. Well, we're going to find out here. It's 2nd down and 6 as we come back. We're under 2 minutes to play, 1:58 to play here in our 4th grade game. We've had great games all day, Coach, and we're not surprised with another great game on Championship Saturday.
Oh, I love it, man. This is good football all day long. This is that time of year.
Well, we got Mr. Williams as he runs the ball off the right side down to about the 36-yard line, 37-yard line.
We always always talk about genetics in Bixby, and Bowden Williams, number 34, he comes from good stock. His parents, Sean and Megan Williams, they're both Division I athletes themselves, basketball players, but just good athletic people. Believe in hard work, and Bowden's up here all the time in the summer. One of our small athletes of the week, and it's just fun to see all the hard work that these families and these kids are putting in, paying off here on Championship Saturday.
Well, Coach, you're starting to get a little taste of that with your son, as you're starting to get even more involved with Guy as he's getting more and more active. As you made the comment to me Tuesday, you're going right from flag football to that he was playing in and did real well in. He told me a couple times he scored some touchdowns. He could be pulling my leg, but hey, I'm going to go with that he scored them. But now he's going right into basketball, so it just comes that they're getting real busy, and those parents have to be dialed in also. Well, there could be the ball game right there, coaches. They do a direct snap to Bowden Williams. He runs off the right side and picks enough for a first down. They're going to call timeout, but I don't think there's enough time. There could be where they give it back to them, but there won't be much time unless, some miracle happens and they stay behind the change or a penalty.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Stick, I think it's just critical to keep these kids hooked up. They've got to have a little bit of time, Christmas break, summers, to maybe take a vacation here or there. But if it's like my son, Guy, you got to keep them hooked up because they're wild as March hares.
Oh, brother, I promise you.
And whether he's handling a basketball, whether he's wrestling, whether he's playing soccer, whether he's playing football, we want to go from one sport to another and develop those skill sets. And that's the thing I like about giving these kids opportunities to play different sports. You're developing different skill sets, and nobody knows. I talked to Mike Roller earlier. He doesn't know. You don't know if a high school kid is going to be a baseball-only guy or a football-only guy. Here's the deal. Get them in the weight room, get them lifting weights, and let them play lots of sports and compete year-round.
Well, you talk to D1 coaches. I talked to Josh Holliday about this, head coach at OSU. He likes kids that play multiple sports. He's got a couple Bixby kids over there, Tanner Griffin and Cade, who play football but were great on the diamond. Here we go, direct snap to Gabe Blankenship in the backfield. Defense held up, no pickup on the play.
Love those Blankenship boys, Gabe, with a great carry right there. His dad, Dennis, was a stalwart on the 1994 National Championship team at Northeastern State University, playing for Coach Tom Eckert, legendary coach down there in Tahlequah. And we mentioned genetics just a little bit earlier. The Blankenship boys, Dennis was a great player. His sons are turning out to be great football players.
We know we get the athletic ability from Povo, his wife. That lady runs all the time. And, of course, she's probably running from them because, all 5 of those kids are all athletic, and they all keep them busy. We got a big second down here. Looks like Justin Allen's going to run the clock down and then call timeout just in time. And it'll be timeout Bixby at the minute and 6 seconds left. We talk about the commitment. It's not just commitment for kids as we go in here. As you talked about, it's commitment by the parents. And in some situations, I'll mention your dad, sometimes grandparents are just as involved because they're involved in it. They're there. They're making sure because, like in your situation, sometimes, Coach, you're strung out. Your wife's got her job. Grandpa's there to help out. And like in my situation with my dad, always there when Price or Branson needed something, needed to go somewhere. So it's not just a commitment just from one kid, but that whole family's got committed. And that's what's been going on here at your school, but it's also been going on around here in youth sports in Northeast Oklahoma.
Yeah, my dad never missed a game, and I know your dad had never missed one of Price's games either. And I think that's what's special, and having that involvement, that family involvement between parents and grandparents, and just loving the kids. There's all different types of parenting styles. Some you might say good, some you might say bad, but the one factor is parents and grandparents being involved and loving those kids, and it always gives them a chance.
Well, here we go, second down and 10, minute 6 left on the clock. We're not looking for anything negative. We're doing straight direct handoffs, and that's what but it looks like number 68 jumped on top of it. I'm not sure if they're going to give it to him or not. That was Logan Korf. But I'm going to say that. But I just about said as long as we don't have any turnovers right here. And Poff, here comes the football. It'll be third down. Nice job by Logan, 68. You talk about fighting. Here's Logan Corfey's done a great job at the corner position. Come in and jump on a loose ball, bring up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, done a great job, number 68, playing out wide at wide receiver and corner. I love it. I love the 60s numbers. If I'm coach right here, I'll probably just go ahead and take a knee on it, right?
Well, unless they don't have any timeouts, we're going to wait and see if that referee starts counting, and we're going to milk the clock down. But you notice all of a sudden there was a switch now at quarterback, and there goes the knee. And it looks like that'll be the ball game. Yes, sir, it is. What a great ball game back-to-back today, Coach, that I've seen in the 3rd and 4th grade game. We've had them all day long, and Bixby found another way. 3rd grade brought one home, now 4th grade.
Yeah, right there, Bowden Williams hanging on to that football, and that young gentleman is one of the stalwarts out there, one of the players of the game. But right now, Stick, if you ask me who the player of the game is, I say it's that defense on that big 4th down stop.
And they had a few of them, Coach. They had a few of them. Once again, nothing but excitement here. Close games all day. I'll recap. 1st grade this morning, Claremore Red versus South Tulsa. South Tulsa found a way to hold on to a 21-7 win as they jumped out early, 14-0. Then we followed up with Stillwater, who hadn't given up a touchdown, Coach, all day, all season long. Gave up the second play of the game. 7 minutes left in the 1st quarter. They give up a big hitter to TYA, but then they stoned them, Coach, the rest of the way. And then they go up 12-6. 3rd grade game, we had a 20-7 that you and Don called. Then we just had 13-7 here. We're going to go down to Charity as we're about to have the trophy presentations. Charity, I hear a lot of screaming and yelling down there. We'll take it down there to you and the trophy presentation by Dick's Sporting Goods.
I have here with me Jason Clark, here to present the awards. Jason, take it away.
Thank you. I'd like to present 4th grade. Congratulations to the postseason runner-up championship. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Good job, guys.
Congratulations.
The 4th grade championship to Justin Allen. Bixby 4th grade. Good job, Coach.
I am here with the championship team, here with head coach, Coach Allen. So after you came back from the half, you said that you wanted to, improve offensively, and you did just that. Can you tell us what was key in that improvement?
Well, really what happened, we had some players step up and make plays when we needed it, and we've had that all year. And we fight till the end, and every game we've had some adversity, and our kids just keep playing. I think they keep their cool better than I do. And I tell them that all the time, but they just keep grinding and keep grinding. Nothing phases them, and good things happen to those who work hard. So we preach that all the time. Great effort, great attitude, and it pays off for them. So.
And how does it feel to bring home another win for Bixby?
Oh, it feels good. It's a great testament for what's in the future for Bixby football. So it's exciting. So.
Great. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Charity, thank you. She just met with the winning coach, Justin Allen, and the 4th grade Bixby Spartans. Hey, stay tuned. We've had a great day already. We have 3 more games left, and we'll have the 5th grade game left between 2 YAA Bulldog teams. That would be the white team and the blue team will be battled out here in 5th grade. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll come back here to INFC Championship Saturday at Lee Snyder Field.